I still remember the exact moment my dad told me I was dead to him. It was the day of his wedding to his new wife. I stood at the back of the hall, wearing the suit he never helped me buy, watching him laugh and hold hands with her. I felt like a stranger in the crowd. He barely looked at me. When I finally tried to speak with him, he pulled me aside and whispered words I'll never forget. "You're not part of this family anymore. You're dead to me." I froze. My world broke, apart in seconds. At first, I thought he was just angry. I thought maybe after the honeymoon he'd call me. I kept checking my phone. Nothing. Days turned to weeks. I texted him once just to say I hoped he was happy. He left me on red. When I called, his number was disconnected. I wasn't just pushed away. I was erased. I had lived with him for most of my life. After my mom passed, he was all I had left. And now, he was acting like I never existed. I cried myself to sleep for nights. I felt truly alone. I was 17. No place to go. My stepmom didn't want me in the house. She said I had too much of my mom in me. I packed a small bag and left. I had around $200 saved from doing part-time jobs. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I couldn't stay there anymore. I ended up sleeping at a friend's house for a while, then on couches of people I barely knew. I worked at a fast food place in the mornings and cleaned an office at night. I was exhausted, but I refused to give up. Even when I was tired, I kept one dream alive. I wanted to be a graphic designer. I had always loved drawing. I used to design posters and little logos for fun. My mom once told me, "Your art will speak when you can't." So every night after work, I'd open my old laptop and practice. I watched free tutorials. I joined online forums. I made fake ads just to improve my skills. I didn't have fancy tools, but I had passion. Every design I made gave me a little bit of hope that maybe one day things would change. One day, someone from the coffee shop I worked at noticed my designs. I had made some custom flyers for the shop's board. She said, "Did you make these? You're really talented." I smiled and said yes. She handed me her business card. "I run a small clothing brand. We're looking for someone to design a logo." My hands shook as I took her card. That night, I stayed up till 3 a.m. making samples. She picked one and paid me $50. That was the first time someone paid me for my art. I cried happy tears that night. That small job led to others. Word spread fast. Friends told friends. Soon, I had a list of small businesses asking for work. I wasn't rich, but I was stable. I created a free website to showcase my designs and opened a social media page. I called it Bold Inc. The name stood for being brave and loud, even when the world tried to silence me. Every job made me better. I learned how to talk to clients, how to price my work, and how to believe in myself. For the first time, I felt like I was becoming someone. After a year of freelancing, a big opportunity came. A startup tech company reached out. They said they loved my clean, bold style. They needed a full branding package: logo, website visuals, and a billboard ad. I froze when I read the message. A billboard? I had never done something that big. But I said yes. I stayed up every night sketching ideas, picking colors, and adjusting fonts. The final design was loud, bright, and full of energy. The company loved it. They sent it to print right away. And just like that, my art was going to be 40 feet high. The day it went up, I took the bus to see it. I stood across the street looking up at my own work. There it was, my logo, my name, designed by Bold Inc. People walked by, some even stopped to take photos. I wanted to scream, "That's me!" But I just smiled quietly. I took a picture of it and posted it online. The post went viral. People were sharing my work, messaging me, and asking for interviews. For the first time, I wasn't invisible. I was someone people noticed. I finally felt seen. What I didn't know was that my dad also saw it, that same day. He was stuck in traffic. He glanced up and there I was. My name, my art. His dead child on a billboard above the city. Later, I found out he almost crashed his car. I didn't hear from him right away. But 3 days later, my phone lit up with a number I didn't recognize. I let it go to voicemail. I listened to the message. Later, it was his voice. He said, "I saw your work. I'm sorry, I'm proud. Please call me." My hands shook as I listened. I played it 3 times just to make sure it was real. After everything he had said, now he was sorry? Now he was proud? I sat in silence, staring at the wall. I didn't know how to feel. Part of me wanted to call back. Part of me wanted to scream. I thought about the nights I slept on a floor, hungry and cold. I thought about the time I got sick and no one came to help. He wasn't there. He chose to walk away. And now he wanted to return? More calls came, then texts. "Let's meet. Please talk to me. I made a mistake." I ignored them all. I wasn't ready. Instead, I focused on my work. The Billboard brought me new clients, bigger jobs. I hired a friend to help with social media. I moved into a small apartment with my own name on the lease. I bought a couch that didn't sink in the middle and a bed that didn't squeak. Every time I looked around, I reminded myself, I built this. No one gave it to me. Especially not the man who turned his back on me. But as time passed, I started feeling something I didn't expect. Not sadness, not guilt. I felt curious. Why now? What made him call me? Was it really guilt or just shock that the kid he left became something without him? I didn't reply, but I did look up his new wife's Facebook. Their pictures were still up. They looked happy. He had a new family now. Did he tell them about me? Did they even know I existed? I started to wonder if he missed me or just missed the chance to take credit for my success. After 2 months of silence, I finally sent a message. "I got your voicemails. I'm doing okay." That's all I said. No anger, no warmth, just truth. He replied in seconds. He wanted to meet. I said I'd think about it. Truth is, I didn't want to go backward. I wasn't the same scared kid anymore. I had grown, changed. I didn't need his approval. But maybe I needed closure. I needed to look him in the eye and know for sure that I didn't need his love to survive. That I made it. Without him. We met at a quiet coffee shop. He looked older, tired. When he saw me, he stood up slowly. "You look just like her," he said, meaning my mom. We sat in silence for a moment. Then he said, "I'm sorry. I should have never said those things." I nodded. He said he was ashamed. That he didn't know how to be a father after losing my mom. That marrying someone new felt like replacing her, and seeing me made him feel guilt. I listened. I didn't forgive him right away. But I listened. When he asked if we could start over, I paused. I told him, "I'm not the same person anymore. You walked away when I needed you most. I built this life alone." He looked down and said, "I know, and I'm proud of you." I didn't cry. I didn't smile. I just said, "Thank you." We talked for a bit longer, then left. I didn't promise anything. I didn't make plans. But as I walked away, I felt light, like a heavy door had finally closed behind me. I had faced the ghost of my past, and walked right past him. Now, I still get messages from people who see that billboard. Some say it inspires them. Some ask how I did it. I always tell them, start small, don't give up, and don't let someone else's silence define your worth. I'm still growing, still learning, still healing, but I know one thing, first I'll sure. Being forgotten by the people you love doesn't mean you're forgettable. Sometimes being kicked out is the start of walking into the life you were meant to build. And if they ever say you're dead to them, prove you're more alive than ever.